video for my 79 Gl1000 Goldwing. I've made a couple modifications that maybe you're interested in, and I'm going to kind of show you how you can do this. The first biggest thing, obviously, would be my Arthur Fulmer front fairing. This is when Arthur Fulmer actually made fairings. All these holes at the top here are where the windshield's supposed to be. I think someone tried to re-drill them, and honestly I just didn't feel like fiberglassing them over and fixing them, because once the windshield's on, you really can't see them. I mean, if I really wanted to cover them up, all I gotta do is put tape on the other side and it'll be fine. I just don't have the windshield on yet because it's so ridiculously tall that it needs to be cut down a couple of inches, because if it's too tall while you're riding, if it decides to fog up outside, you need to be able to look over the windshield so that you can see the road. So really you want it about 1 inch below your side of vision. That way, if it starts to hail or rain, you can still duck down and get out of it. And if it fogs over, you can still see over the windshield into the road. But anyway, tell you what, let me roll the bike out here a little bit more where you can actually see it. So I can kind of explain all this. I'll even open up the door. Okay, so anyway, I like it because it makes the bike look, in my opinion, a lot better. These signals, I don't believe they're actually stock Fulmer signals, because from the back they actually look almost like Harley signals. They're just 3-inch non-running signals, which is kind of a bummer right now, but I'm going to change the sockets over. And then I put a Silver Star headlight in it. But the signals themselves are still pretty bright. They're just 1156 bulbs. I'm going to change them over to spotlights and then do some other stuff. But anyway, the way that you can get this guy on here nice and firm, you have to get a little inventive. Now, if you've got a earlier model, you might be able to get around this. But because I had a 79 and I have the rectangular signals, instead of wanting to cut up this fairing, which is still in pretty good condition, I just took the easier route and cut the stem off. Now, to add signals later, all I'm going to have to do is just get a clamp that goes around the fork ear, and then I'll have a stem coming off that I can bolt a signal to. I really didn't want to do that, but I mean, it's not entirely easy to change this headlight fork, this headlight ear, because you have to take the upper triple tree off and the gauges and all that kind of nonsense just to get this stupid piece out. So I really just took the 5-minute way out. But anyway, now to actually get the fairing on, I kind of made a couple pieces of steel and bent them and made them fit. I got some U-bolts, which ideally I'm going to get some 44mm clamps, which should go around this because I measured it with a dial caliper. And then they will have a little deal right here where you can bolt that up to, so you won't have to have all this crap. It really looks kind of ghetto. But it doesn't move. So that's the easy part. Getting the top half. Now the bottom half you have to get again kind of creative with. And what I did is underneath the Honda nameplate is where your proportioning valve is. Well, not proportioning valve, but your split for the right and left brake. Now all you have to do, same deal, use your 1-inch steel and get a bolt, and I just bolted it up right behind, but not behind the split, but in front of the split. That way, you're not putting stress on the actual brake split itself. You're putting it in front of it, kind of like a washer. Now, of course, you might as well just take off the Honda plate because you won't be able to see it behind this. So that's how you can get that on there. So it's not too difficult, but it's your bike, so you might have a couple of things different. It might take you a little bit. Now, the mufflers, I actually have Harley softtail pipes on it. Now, of course, these were kind of fun to get on, but same kind of deal. Took some 1-inch strap, went from behind the rear foot peg, and then I actually kind of welded a joint down here, and then that goes into the hose clamp. So it's really not the ideal way I wanted to do it, but I didn't really want to weld in this because I like how it looks, and the bolt holes don't really line up because they're obviously meant to be on the same side of the bike. The one on the left side is about the same way. But, again, everything is extremely sturdy, so I'm not concerned with it. And to be honest, I like the sound a whole lot too. Really start the bike and you can kind of judge. Alright, so there's that. Now the last thing I'm going to do is mount hard saddlebags. When I do that, I'll take a video of that as well. Because what I think I'm going to have to do is go from this nut and probably behind the foot peg again. And I think I'm going to get some boxed in tubing and just kind of run a deal like this. That's really about the only thing I can see back here. And eventually I'm going to change this rear fender out and, get a painted fender that kind of covers the wheel a whole lot more. But that's my simple modifications at the moment, and when they continue to come, I'll try to put some on YouTube. Hope you enjoyed it.